What's up, everybody? It's me, Don Weeb here, back with another episode for What If Naruto Was a Demigod. Last time we got into how Naruto had lost his immortal chakra from Hera, who had ripped it out of his body, as well as taken his immortal weapon, his scythe, along with it. He also lost the Rasengan, which Hope had returned to the world, along with Sasuke now having the 7 deadly sins, which Naruto still does not know about. But anyway, let's get right into this part of the episode. So let's get into part 12 for What If Naruto Was a Demigod. Naruto gets up after the battle that had occurred for him to attain Dragon Sage mode, as well as everything that had occurred during the past 2 months with Era and everything. He'd begun to get used to his mortal chakra, and as he and Jiraiya set out from their respective training, both him and Jiraiya were now perfect sages. So let's get right into the story. As Jiraiya and Naruto are walking, Naruto now knows that they're heading towards first the land of waves. As they continue to head down this long, winding road down the mountain pass, they continue to walk until suddenly they see a kingdom. As they walk through into the great walls of the kingdom, they then see that many of the people there are standing in terror, as well as just seem generally terrified in general, as well as having fear in their eyes. Naruto and Jiraiya look around and can see that the people there are definitely not happy. As they look around more, they actually see a lot of them are actually inside their houses with the shutters closed, or peeking out to see if there's anything there. Naruto and Jiraiya confidently walk through the stone square as they begin to enter into the main heart of the kingdom. As they walk through the many villages, spread out throughout the kingdom and houses, they suddenly see that one of the villages as they're walking through actually is completely burned down and missing. So Naruto and Jiraiya decide to go check this out, and as they walk around, they then see some strange objects laying on the ground. They see bits of fur, as well as different sharp claw marks on wood, as well as a smell of burnt charcoal just emanating through the entire air. Naruto and Jiraiya then go back to the last village and ask what happened over at this other village. Naruto is then explained to by one of the villagers there that there's this creature had suddenly come out of nowhere and it made its home in the cave further north. They call it the Nemean lion. The Nemean lion has a fur stronger than any tool, knife, and it seems to be unaffected by any attacks that they try and use using any chakra of any kind. They even tried hiring ninja, and none of it worked. The ninja from the grass village they hired had been killed and eaten, so now they have nothing left. So now they decided just to run away and escape from it. It can even breathe golden fire as well. There's no way to beat that thing. Naruto decides that this is probably one of the tests that Hera had set up for him so that way he could attain his power rightfully again. As Naruto then tells Jiraiya he's going to take down that lion, Jiraiya says that he'll go with him. Naruto nods, shakes his head, and tells him that he has to do this alone. And so Naruto begins to enter the cave. As Naruto heads north alone, he then walks into a dark cave entrance where all he can see and smell is the smell of musk and the scent of dandruff in the air, as well as blood and bones and death. As Naruto walks in, he hears a faint growling sound, and suddenly 2 golden orbs appear in front of him in the darkness. As suddenly a great flame arises in the cave, causing him to see hundreds of skeletons of humans all sitting around the cave, as well as a lion taller than any bear or any type of creature he's ever seen that had walked on land. As he sees this massive lion walking towards him, it has blood dripping down its maw as it looks towards its next meal. Naruto immediately activates his Dragon Sage mode, and when he goes into his Dragon Sage mode, the lion strikes. Its razor-sharp claws are about to pierce into Naruto's skin, it thinks, and as it swipes its great almighty paw at Naruto, suddenly all it can feel is a slight chink, as its claw hits right into Naruto's scales, and as it does so, Naruto moves slightly to the left a little and is pushed through the dirt, and its claw does nothing. Naruto smiles as he thinks that Tempest was right about this, and that his scales and his skin are way more tough and durable now than they ever were before, especially without Sage mode. Naruto then goes after the lion. He jumps at it and punches it in the face, causing, along with his Sage mode on still, causing it to go flying back as it flies through the air and rams into the side of the cave, causing it to shake. It gets up and roars as it bursts a breath of fire at Naruto. Naruto quickly uses an air palm jutsu, which he forms in a matter of seconds, and launches the air palm directly at the flames. As the flames are then engulfed by the air as they cancel each other out, Naruto then rushes up behind, blitzing using his newfound speed and power as he slams a Rasengan directly into the Nemean lion. As the lion goes down as it sprawls across the ground, Naruto knows what he's going to have to do. As he tries cutting it with his kunai, it's not going to work. He picks up the lion's paw itself and then rips out one of its claws. He can hear it's groaning from the pain. He then uses the claw and finishes off the beast. He then skins the lion thoroughly and creates a sort of cloak out of the lion's fur. He thanks the lion and says that he has completed his first challenge. As Naruto leaves the cave, he now has a lion fur cloak completely surrounding him as he walks down from the northern pass. As he gets back down to the kingdom where Jiraiya is, Jiraiya sees him wearing the lion's mane and cloak, and with the cloak around him, Naruto looks almost animalistic. Naruto waves towards Jiraiya and tells him that he beat and killed the lion. He then shows a few of the claws to Jiraiya, who says that these would make some excellent kunai if he could be forged into one. They pocket them and continue on with their way. The villagers thank them for their assistance, and Naruto and Jiraiya can continue to head out into their next challenge. As Naruto continues to head out, they finally make it to the boat. As they finally make it to the same village that Jiraiya had messaged with a crow a while back, to where they were going to be getting on board and heading across to the land of waves, they suddenly hear a loud thunderclap. As thunderstorms begin to roll out across the island, Naruto sighs as he realizes that it actually hadn't rained for quite a few weeks now, so he decides to let it pass as he really can't do anything without his immortal chakra anyway. As Naruto, who basically has to wait through the rain now, Naruto looks up to see that the clouds have dispersed and the rain is gone. Naruto and Jiraiya hop on the boat as they begin to sail across the sea. As Naruto is looking out across the ocean, suddenly he notices something strange. Beneath the water, he can see several different necks of something moving around. As he looks down to peek at a closer view, suddenly a Hydra comes bursting out of the water and begins to spray acid at the boat. Naruto and Jiraiya jump into action as Naruto dives off the edge, forming a lightning clone quickly to hold him above the water. As he forms multiple lightning clones, he can feel his chakra being drained immensely. He then rushes across on top of them, using them like a kind of boat themselves. He jumps off towards the Hydra and attempts to use a lightning sphere. As he suspends himself in the air and creates the sphere of lightning around his entire body, the Hydra begins to get burned from the electricity as it begins to shake out as the water also contracts the electricity, making it even more effective. The Hydra appears to die as it sinks beneath the waves, when suddenly it bursts back up again, back to life as if nothing had happened. Naruto at this point attempts to sever one of its heads off with his kunai. As he does so, its two heads grow back from where it came from. Naruto and Jiraiya are kind of horrified by this, and as the ship captain continues to try and make it there, Jiraiya and Naruto have to fight this off. Naruto has an idea and tells Jiraiya to use his Toad Oil Jutsu along with his Fireball Jutsu at the same time. Jiraiya agrees, and then Naruto uses an a wind palm to cut all the heads off. Do it now! Jiraiya sends the Toad Oil directly at the severed heads where the necks should be before they regrow. He then immediately sends a fireball directly after it, causing all of the necks to be burned and severed so that way the heads can't regenerate. The Hydra falls beneath the sea as its poison begins to fill throughout the water, and it then disperses until it's dead. Moving on from there, Naruto and Jiraiya finally make it to the Land of Waves. At the Land of Waves, they realize they're on the opposite end of the actual island from where they were before, back to where they were. They could not see the Great Naruto Bridge anywhere. However, they did see another small pot of land as well. Naruto then decides that he's going to have to take this part himself. As Naruto and Jiraiya pay and then leave the ship turns around and begins to head back to where it came from. Naruto and Jiraiya begin to walk through the Land of Waves, and as they're walking around, they then notice that a lot of the people there seem to rather odd and very happy and pleased. It's as if though everything had changed from just a year or two ago, from when the terrible Gato had been attacking the actual Land of Waves himself. Naruto then, as he looks around, begins to investigate to see what they could be doing at the Land of Waves as Hera had instructed them. As he looks around, he notices the only main change that he's seen so far from this part of the Land of Waves compared to the other half is that this part seems to be much richer, and the fact that the houses seem nicer, the people seem to be wearing much more luxurious clothing, as well as the people in general just seem to have not a care in the world. Naruto, as he walks through, feels a bit out of place with his lion skin cloak and his clothes on as well, with his normal ninja gear. Him and Jiraiya walk through, and Jiraiya explains that the northern half of the Land of Waves is actually was much more better off from Gato's reign, as they were closer to the better, bountiful seas, which made them have higher fishing value, as well as making them just richer in general. Naruto understands, and as they continue onward, they then decide that they're going to head back to where the port was. There was that small crop of land far away from the mainland of the Land of Waves, and Naruto and Jiraiya have to get over there. Naruto thinks if there's any jutsu he can use, and unfortunately for him, he doesn't have any abilities that he thinks will help them get there faster. Jiraiya quickly summons a toad, and then him and Naruto hop on as they swim over to the new crop land. As they get over there, it's actually a little bit bigger. You can pretty much see the entire island, however, with your own eye view. And as they climb up onto the sand, they look up, and on top of the Acropolis of the stone valley and mountain, there stands a glorious tree. In the tree, there's several different apples. One of them seems to be golden and shining from here. Sitting around the tree is a ginormous dragon that has red scales and blue scales. Naruto smiles and thinks he has an idea. Jiraiya then tells him to hold back and that they should wait to come up with a plan to fight it. Naruto tells him that he's not going to fight it, and then he walks over to the dragon. As Naruto climbs up the mountain, the dragon sees him and is beginning to get really angry, and it's about to burn him to a crisp. Suddenly, Naruto activates his Dragon Sage mode. He activates his Dragon Sage mode and then explains to himself in the draconian tongue that his name is actually Naruto Uzumaki, and that he was trained under Tempest from the Dragon Clan, and that he's there actually to retrieve that golden apple. At that point, the dragon then talks back to Naruto and explains that he's been put here by Hera to guard this tree, and unfortunately, though, he'll still have to fight him, even though he's proven to be kind to his brethren. Naruto sighs, and then he says, "Alright then, but I guess I won't be the one fighting you." Naruto then quickly makes a summoning jutsu as he summons Tempest. Tempest is then summoned as Naruto feels a lot of his chakras pushed out of him. As Tempest and this other dragon begin to fight, they then grapple in the sky, biting at each other and ripping through. Naruto quickly activates his Dragon Sage mode and bursts over at top speed towards the tree. The dragon tries and spits fire towards the tree to try and burn Naruto and catches some of its leaves on fire. Naruto's halfway up the tree now, and as the dragons begin to push and fight across, some of the people far away in the Land of Waves notice the two blips in the sky fighting. Naruto grabs the golden apples, he falls out of the tree, just as it gets burned to a crisp from the electricity of Tempest's own dragon roar. Naruto then says that's enough, and he desummons Tempest. The dragon turns to Naruto and is about to attack him. Naruto says, uh-oh. He then jumps off the side of the cliff with Dragon Sage mode on, crashing into the bottom and feeling pretty much no damage. He and Jiraiya then rush back, and he tells Jiraiya to get on the toad and run. As him and Jiraiya swim across, they finally make it and escape the toad. As they get off the toad and get back to the Land of Waves, they then begin to head towards the center of the Land of Waves, where the Queen of the Gods awaits him. Now, moving away from Naruto, let's move towards what was going on with Sasuke. A little bit back in time, a few months before, when Naruto and Jiraiya have just started their Sage Mode training, Sasuke is now perfecting his new abilities. Sasuke has the Eternal Mangekyo Sharingan activated now, which means that he can use Mangekyo Sharingan without any side effects. He's laughing, as well as understanding that he has a few new abilities as well. Orochimaru and Sasuke spar, and this is when Sasuke begins to uncover his first ever ability from the 7 Deadly Sins. Sasuke realizes that there's a presence inside of his body that's been feeding him chakra, even that's far greater than his own. He then began to hear voices in his head directing him to do things. It was his own voice, his own desires. He hears at first, his own greed. Greed explains to him that his ability, Sasuke, is to help him, that he can steal chakra from others just simply by touching them. Using his Sin power, he can take chakra from anyone or anything. Sasuke begins to practice this for Orochimaru, who finds this immensely interesting. Sasuke and Naruto have both been training, and after this part, we'll be getting back into the real story of Shippuden, as well as finishing up the skip. So I hope you guys enjoyed this part, and I hope you guys are ready for the finale of the Queen of the Gods arc, which will be part 13, which I'll explain everything about the Raijin as well as the 7 deadly sins, get into more of the lore, as well as start Naruto Shippuden. So I hope you guys are happy with this What If. I hope you guys like what's going on. I'll see you guys later. Make sure to leave any comments below and join the Discord server.
It's
And
black
see you guys
and
later.
white.
Bye.